This so-called task force has taken no time to allow for comprehensive health and environmental studies of the effects of fracking, to scientifically detail what we already witness and already know. This task force is preserving the status quo and employing no creativity when it comes to job creation. What we need are high-quality, permanent jobs and energy security, things that will only come to pass when we take the initiative to move away from fossil fuels. What we are getting is short-term exploitation that will leave us in ruins. What we need is a task force to protect us from these corporate criminals, a task force to push out the pushers. What we need is leadership that will stand up and defend the Pennsylvania Constitution, which states that we have the right to clean air and pure water and the preservation of our environment, not only for ourselves, but for future generations. This task force is not doing what needs to be done, so I'm glad to see the neighborhood watch out here today.
As a 23-year-old resident of Pennsylvania, I want to talk about the fact that there are no voices of young people on this task force. Where are the voices of those who are going to be most directly impacted for generations to come? I am here today as a young person of the Commonwealth to say that we are going to be disproportionately impacted by these build-out of pipelines, this build-out of fracking infrastructure, and we deserve a voice, and our voice is here to say, no way.
This task force's aim is to build public acceptance of an unacceptable industry. In the next handful of years, the rest of the world will be scrambling to avoid climate catastrophe, and while they're talking about building 25,000 more miles of pipeline in Pennsylvania, they are tone deaf to what's actually going on this planet. Meanwhile, fracking has been devastating communities in Pennsylvania for more than a decade. And so, again, we have all of these documents today that tell the story. They talk about the science, and they tell the stories of the people who have been directly impacted already, and the people who are desperately trying to protect their communities wherever pipelines and other infrastructure projects are planned. This isn't about people in suits giving PowerPoint presentations to one another. This is about reality. And so we want them, during the course of this comment period, to read every comment. Holding a meeting to finalize a report 4 days into a public comment period is another unacceptable thing this government has pulled. Thanks.
We're delivering these tens of thousands of comments to tell the task force and to tell Governor Wolf to stop being so blindly committed to the fossil fuel that is fracked gas, the dirty fossil fuel that is fracked gas. We're here to tell the task force and to tell Governor Wolf to stop wasting our taxpayer dollars, to stop wasting our public resources, to stop wasting our very lives on this dirty fossil fuel industry that is fracked gas, and instead to be investing our time, our money, our resources in developing the clean energy future that we all want and that we all need.
Thank you. I wanted to reach out just quickly on a different topic, and that is the economics of this. If Governor Wolf is watching, or if Williams, or if any of these companies are watching, I think you know that the economics is not there to export gas. It's not there. It's dead. $7 now in Japan, not $20. It costs $7 to make liquefied natural gas. Shipping this stuff, putting in the Atlantic Sunrise, it's all speculation for another disaster happening somewhere. It's not helping Pennsylvania, it's not helping the United States, it's not helping our workers, it's not helping anybody here. So let's stop, let's face the economic realities and be done with this.
So what we're saying in New Jersey, loud and clear, across the river, to Governor Wolf and to this pipeline task force, this is not game over, business as usual. These pipelines are going through, as Quigley is saying now. The reality is climate change is real, and the reality is we want you to stop the fracking. We want you to start investing in renewables and to be the future of energy and be a beacon. Pennsylvania, you have a responsibility, not just to surrounding states, but to the world. And this is an opportunity. You can make the right choice and you can be part of a healthy future for the planet, or you can make the wrong choice and continue to stay on the path of fossil fuels and dangerous fracking.
New York is currently taking millions of gallons of fracked gas waste, frack waste, the water. We're dealing with sand coming through our borders, and this is despite our governor banning it. And we're here to tell Governor Wolf, you've got a regional issue on your hands by continuing to move ahead with this, ignoring the harmed, dropping taxpayer dollars to sit down with industry to try to ram pipelines down the throats of our neighbors in Pennsylvania. That is unacceptable, it is shameful, and it's embarrassing. We're calling on the governor to shut down this task force immediately, to stop fracking in Pennsylvania immediately, and to help the harm, to help the thousands of people and the thousands more that will emerge as more well casings continue to fail, as more air pollution takes place. Right now, Pennsylvania is a quarter of the way fracked. If you allow it to be 100% of the way fracked, you're going to have a disaster zone on your hands.
The governor's task force did not call me. I've experienced every negative aspect from pipelines, from attempting to steal my property by certificate of public convenience, which means eminent domain, to installing a pipeline behind my house on my neighbor's property and blowing my creek bed out 8 times in a row over 2.5 months, destroyed a beautiful trout stream. Never have come to fix it. Installing it across my property, bulldozing through my streams, my creeks, bulldozing right through them. And then we caught them dumping 100,000 gallons of liquid of unknown origin. That's what the EPA called it, all over my property. They thought we weren't watching, but I had a person up there that was my forester and caught them doing it. Every aspect of this is theft of property. They destroy the property. They force them on. If it's a FERC project or a federal government project, you have no choice. We're class 1 rural. We're the forgotten. If the pipeline, we've had 6 compressor stations explode and light on fire within a 50-mile radius of where my house is in northeastern Pennsylvania, and the company that built it was in charge.
We have legitimate concerns and compelling reasons for why the proposed build-out of fracking and the associated pipeline infrastructure is environmentally reckless, fiscally unsustainable, and in the case of the use of eminent domain, a social injustice that is unthinkable in what's supposed to be a free and democratic society. We brought our quilt with us today. It's over here on the grass. I'd like for everyone to please take a look at it. It's very compelling. This ongoing collaborative effort is a beautiful, creative expression from many contributors across the region who want to say how they feel about their love of nature and agriculture, concerns about climate change, their rights as landowners, and, in the case of some of the children who made these squares, the condition of their futures. As our movement continues to grow, so will this quilt. A beautiful, creative, colorful antithesis to everything this industry has in store for us in the coming years, if we allow it.